Hi everyone, it's Ailin here. So we're back for another Iridology lesson, and today I thought I'd bring up this iris photo of one of my clients that I'm working with to resolve all their health issues with the diet, with the detoxification, and with the herbal protocol. So yeah, I really found this iris interesting because of this sign right here that's happening that we can see in the eye. Also, this ring right here. So we're gonna discuss everything that we see going on in this iris today, and like what those signs mean in the iris, and the different symptoms that this person told me they have. All these little different things that help us piece together the puzzle that is detoxification and how to heal using all these different signs that the body shows us. So let's start with this right here. So this is like, as you can see, it's like a cloudiness, almost like this cholesterol ring going around the iris, but not quite so. This sign is a bit different, and we see a bunch of red blood vessels going on here, a hue of like pinkness. So this is what I guess the medical system would call a pterygium, and it has a really funny spelling, but yeah, it's called pterygium. What it pretty much is it's pretty much a fatty tumor that develops on top of the iris due to acidosis. Now, the body can develop many tumors. It can hold on to acids in this way. It separates the acids from the healthy tissues. In this case, it's in the eye itself. But you can also get tumors everywhere. You can get tumors in your glands, pituitary tumor. Things like ovarian cysts are also tumors. So yeah, a tumor is pretty much a pocket of lymphatic fluid that the body holds on to. So let's get a closer look at this right here. Let's see. So yeah, I think you guys can see it. So yeah, you see this cloudiness? Yeah, it's really thick. This signifies really thick lymphatic congestion in the eye. This person definitely is having trouble with eliminating acidic waste and acidosis, toxins out of the body. And it's very interesting because this is located right on top of the thyroid region of the iris. So this person also has a lot of major lymph congestion in the thyroid itself. It also explains why this person is suffering from things like obesity, cold hands and feet, low energy levels, depression. Depression is actually a bit of thyroid, but mainly parathyroid gland. So this lesion right here showing us that they have a parathyroid gland weakness. Lesions like these, any dark lines in the iris, that pretty much points to either a chronic weakness or a deep level of degeneration or deterioration of the actual tissue of the organ or said gland. So in this case, this is the parathyroid gland. We can't really see what's going on in the thyroid, but this is pretty much pointing to severe congestion. Now, if we look on the whites of the eye itself, and this is sclerology in practice right here, this big red blood vessel is pointing to the thyroid and throat area itself. And this right here is pointing to the liver. So this person has a lot of throat, thyroid, and liver issues. One of the health issues that they're facing is also anemia. Liver problems run in their family. Alcoholism runs in the family. This person has liver spots, which are brown spots all over the skin. So when we see liver weakness, liver congestion, it's a sign that the body definitely needs to detox. And you can do this with certain herbal formulas focused on the liver, focused on the thyroid, to clean out these organs and glands and perk them up in their functioning. So yeah, and it's no surprise, like I was mentioning before, how this is an actual tumor. Now, it's not a cancerous tumor, it's benign. So you don't really have to worry about cancer when it comes to this sign developing in the eye just yet. But yeah, it's pointing to the fact that this person has a lot of lymph congestion, stagnation in the body, and is also very prone to getting cysts in the body. So this person also has ovarian cysts, a history of ovarian cysts. Now that is something, because in their health history they said that they had ovarian cysts quite a while back ago. So when you see cysts continuously coming up, like year after year, person has to continuously go into surgically remove them, and they don't detox because they're just unaware, or their doctor doesn't tell them. Obviously the doctor's not going to tell them because doctor doesn't know how to heal anything, we all know that. But yeah, over time, cysts, that's pretty much a sign of like the beginning sign of major acidosis, right? Now, cysts are good. Cysts are protective. Tumors are protective. The body's trying to pretty much separate the acids from the healthy tissues. So that's a protective mechanism that the body is using. You know, the body's very intelligent. It's helping us out as best as it can. But, you know, we have to change our diets in order to fully live healthy lives, and in order to clean out the lymph waste, because our bodies are naturally designed to live extremely long. We just have been following the wrong diet for so many years, for generations, and now it's definitely time to embrace the raw foods, raw vegan foods, in order to cleanse the body. Fruits are the most powerful at cleansing the body, raw foods in general. Fruit juices, citrus foods, melons, berries, grapes, these are the most powerful cleansing foods. So those are the types of foods that you want to focus on in order to heal the body, excluding most of the other foods. Cooked foods in general, they're very low in energy. They don't have the cleansing properties that fruits have. Fruits have that astringency and hydration that we're looking for to clean all the cells, to move all the fluids of the body, to bring energy back into the nervous system and adrenal glands. So all that is really important in trying to heal the body, in attempting to heal the body. Those are a must. They're definitely what you need to have in your program. Diet is most important, and then the next second important, which, you know, is also very important when it comes to especially the younger generation that are dealing with chronic and degenerative illnesses. You need to address the glands. That's the second most important, and organ weaknesses. But pretty much where I was going with that long spiel is if you continuously have cysts over and over through the years, what's going to happen is it's going to go into stages of chronic and degeneration levels, meaning, you know, the body can only hold the acids for so long until it starts to burn and until it starts to actually destroy the tissue. And that's when we see degenerative issues occur, and then things like cancer can develop. So ovarian cancer can be very likely. Even things like thyroid cancer can be very likely. You know, in the case of thyroid cancer, before that, people can have lymph node swelling around the neck and thyroid, or they can have a goiter, you know, anything like that, any swelling or holding of fluid or things of that nature, that happens before. And then the later stages is tissue death and cancer cells, sick cells, dead cells. That's what produces cancer. So the best way to prevent cancer is to constantly pump and move the lymph system. And not only that, we want to pump and move the lymph system, but we also want to make sure that these wastes have a chance of escaping the body, because you can pump the lymph system like day in and day out through exercise, or through drinking your lemon water in the morning, but unless you're actually going after your whole body as a whole and addressing detoxification on all levels, unless you know that connection between the lymph system and the kidneys, between the lymph system and the skin and the lungs and all the channels of elimination, then you're not going to be eliminating these wastes and truly detoxing. This is why it gets me a little frustrated, because sometimes people say they're on detox diets or detox protocols, but then when they tell me what they're eating, they say that they're eating chicken and fish and that things like that are allowed. But no, that's not true detoxification. In true detoxification, we are eliminating all proteins and all acidic forming foods. All animal proteins and all proteins are acidic foods. Now, these foods include chicken, fish, seafood in general, beef, pork, processed meats like ham, turkey. All those things are acidic and encourage acidosis in the body. Now, one may argue like, well, how about organic meats? Well, organic meats, they will still be acidic, because when it comes to chemistry, the end result of breaking down these meats, it creates a chemical ash that is on the chemical scale acidic, not alkaline, but acidic. Now, just as an orange, like an orange is acidic at first, but when broken down and digested by the body, it creates alkaline ash. So that's the difference, what really matters most is what is the end result when the body breaks the food down? What is the end result chemistry wise? Now, chemistry is everything. Chemistry rules the body, and it determines whether you live a long healthy life, or whether you die prematurely or you suffer through most of your life. So it's very important that we focus on the alkaline foods and pumping the lymph system and getting the body to expectorate all the mucus, expectorate, through sweating, through bowel movements, getting rid of the mucus that's plaquing the colon, all these things. What you don't eliminate, you actually, you hold on to and you accumulate in the body. And that's what disease is all about. That's the number one cause, is it's always gonna come back to lymphatic congestion. So that's what we're seeing in this iris. Thank you for listening to my passionate rant right now, but I feel like it's very important, since I have a lot of new subscribers coming to the channel, and most of you may be new to detoxification and may not understand what's going on and what the reason behind reading the eyes is. Reading the eyes is really cool and it's very interesting, but there is a big reason for reading the eyes, and it's to go after the health of the human body. And I cannot stress how important it is to read the eyes in order to figure out what you need to work on specifically in order to heal yourself, because there are a lot of people suffering out there, people that have been visiting the doctors, the medical doctors, all these different types of medical specialists for years and still don't have answers. And they've even visited naturopaths and done allergy tests and done a bunch of different tests, and they still don't know what's wrong inside of them, or they still have not healed themselves because they're not on the right diet or the right protocol. So this is why reading the eyes is so important. With this iris, I can see so many different things. So remember when we were talking about the parathyroid weakness that's going on right here? So the parathyroid gland controls calcium utilization in the body, which means that in an acidic body, the body has a lot of different methods of protecting itself against acidosis. So what the body is doing And what it does very often is it starts to leach calcium out of bones, out of the connective tissue, out of the structure of the body. And then if you have a parathyroid gland weakness, the parathyroid gland is not able to place back the calcium from those areas that it was taken from. And then this is when we start to see prolapsing of organs, and when we start to see hemorrhoids, and we start to see people with weak bladder issues. Now this is an issue that this person has. They have a little bit of prolapsing right here in their transverse colon. They're losing the tone of their pupil. You see this pupil where it has a flat area right here? That points to a parathyroid gland weakness. This person also suffers from depression. That's a parathyroid gland weakness. Let me see right here. So this is the person's left eye. So yeah, like I was saying, this person has a weak bladder. So right here we see a big bladder weakness going on. So they have trouble holding their urine. When they cough, they have to they have to watch out, because then, you know, the pee will come out very easily whenever like coughing or sneezing is involved. So, and it's sad because this person has so many health issues, but they're on so many medications that for the most trivial things, you know, they don't want to, you know, pee on themselves if they cough. They're on a medication for something like that, when the problem can be easily resolved by just addressing this gland weakness right here. Let me see what else. Yeah, so like I was saying before, there's congestion of this gland, the thyroid gland. There's a parathyroid gland weakness. There's also an adrenal gland weakness right here. This is really, really big. Chronic degenerative levels we're talking about. This is how dark it is. You see how deep it is. Very, very bad. And then we notice this person has nerve rings around their eyes. So the connection between the adrenal glands and the nervous system, it's definitely seen in this eye. These glands are directly tied to the nervous system, in that the adrenal glands are responsible for producing neurotransmitters, which affect every organ of the body. That's why just having this one gland weakness can produce so many different symptoms and diseases in the body. It's really incredible. So this person is suffering with asthma, for instance. Asthma is a neurological issue. So having the nerve rings going through the lungs, for example, that's going to affect asthma. Now, asthma is a little bit of lung congestion, but it's more so an adrenal gland and nervous system weakness because of the spasming action that happens when one has asthma. Now, asthma is not as serious as something like emphysema or COPD. Asthma is just the beginning stages. When the person has reached COPD, that's when it's gotten really severe. That's the last stage. This person claims to have been reaching up to that stage because they've had asthma for a while and they've been on inhalers and or a nebulizer for a long time. Now, these medications, although they're very helpful for the short term, their excessive use, since it's a steroid, it's actually weakening the adrenal glands over time, because if you take something to replace whatever hormone or vitamin or what have you that the body is supposed to produce, then the body will get lazy and stop producing it. This is what we're seeing with this adrenal gland. It's halted its steroid production because of the constant steroids that this person has been taking. Now, this is further weakening this gland, but at the same time, this person also has a genetic predisposition to getting this adrenal gland weakness from their parents and from their parents and so on and so on. Now, each generation that is born into this world, their genes are getting weaker and weaker. This is why we see the younger generation developing diseases at a younger age over time. This is why it's so common for us to see children with asthma or children with cancers or children with eczema or vaccine injuries. And it all comes down to this gland weakness, the adrenal glands. Very, very important to the human body. So like I was saying, this person has asthma, they have lung congestion. Now, another thing that the adrenal glands affect is mood, anxiety. This person has anxiety, they have ADHD, ADD, same thing, what have you. They also have allergies. Now, allergies is a big one. So many people have allergies, but I find more and more often that people are taking medications to try and just, quickly resolve their allergy, because understandably it's very uncomfortable, but people need to realize that allergies are just lymphatic congestion. So what happens when the skin starts to itch? What happens when we start to sneeze? It really is a sign that the lymph system has reached its limit. That all it takes is just one drop, one little irritation, whether that's animal dander, cat or dog, whether it's grass or pollen, whether it's a food allergy, whether it's like nut or seafood allergies, what have you. All it takes is that one little trigger to set the body off. And this has two reasons. Because of the adrenal glands, now these little guys, they are supposed to keep our bodies in check. They produce steroids that are anti-inflammatory, that quickly put the fire out if the body comes in contact with a certain irritation, right? So that helps us from getting itchy skin or getting sneezing attacks or things like that. Now, the other thing is that this person has a very thick skin ring. Now, this part of the iris right here is where the lymphatic system lies, the lymph nodes lie, the circulation is, and right here, this dark ring that we see around this iris is a skin ring. In a healthy eye, we would not see any different colors right here. We're seeing all this white matter, and then we're seeing a lot of black and dark brown around the eye. This is a sign of a congested skin, meaning this person's going to have a lot of itching going on. And in this eye, I wouldn't be surprised to find fungus to be an issue, parasites to be an issue. All these things make the skin itch and burn. And every time the body tries to expectorate some of these acidic wastes, then it does so through the skin, because this person has a big kidney weakness. With all these issues that we're seeing happening, the kidneys and the adrenals are always going to be down. And it's sad reality, because anytime we see cholesterol plaquing like this around the eye, if this person were to continue to go on without changing their diet, without detoxing, the cholesterol plaquing would occur more and more. Then they would see things like strokes and heart attacks, very common. And for this person, in their family history, they stated that they have their mother, their father have heart issues, so they have inherited that heart weakness. If we see it right here in the right eye, this is a heart weakness right here. So yeah, it's pretty deep, and we wouldn't want this to continue on. So this is why you have to open up everything. You have to clean up the bowels. The bowels have a direct correlation to all the organs in the body. And you see all these little dark lines all inside the bowels, all inside the stomach area. All these have to be cleaned out. In a completely clear eye, in a completely healthy eye, you shouldn't see any darkness. After this eye is completely, after this person has completely detoxed their body, their eye will be very light brown with no darkness, no nerve rings, no lacunas, none of those things, right? So, let me see. Getting back to, I have many eye many eye photos open because sometimes it can be a little difficult to get the perfect iris photos, depending on the quality of the camera that the client has. So this is why I suggest taking many iris photos, because sometimes I can't make out certain areas of the eye. So like, for instance, you see this eye has a big white flash right here. I can't see this area. So that's why I recommend them taking another iris photo. So now I can see this area. You see what I'm saying? Now it's on the other side, but it doesn't matter because now I can see both sides of the eye. So that's beautiful. That's perfect. I'm gonna have to come out with a video on how to take the best iris photos for when you guys send me your irises, because you know, it really helps out. The more detailed I can see the eye, the better I can help you guys out. Now, when it comes to what the best iris photo looks like, I'd say this one is a pretty good one because I can see sort of like the three-dimensional things going on right here. You see how this looks a bit three-dimensional, and also I can see the various shades of lymph congestion in this iris. You see, I can see congestion right here, right here. It's really good, really good, and I can see the entirety of the bowels. So that's excellent. So let's see what else we have going on here. Another thing I want to discuss is this hue. I don't know if you guys can see, but right inside the pupil, we see a haze going on. Now this is cataracts. This is also another sign of cholesterol. So this is something that if this person wants, what they can do to get rid of this fatty tumor right here in the eye and to get rid of the cataracts, you know, since this person is complaining a lot about blurred vision and it's increasingly getting worse, what they can do is they can get the Herbal Eye Wash and actually apply it topically to the eye. And there's instructions on how to do it, but it's pretty amazing. You can put some of the herbal tincture into a cup with some water and put it in a little small cup and kick your head back and allow the fluid and allow this mixture to pull on the lymph of this eye to actually pull some of this off, because blurred vision comes about when there's actual lymphatic congestion on top of the eye, blocking you from actually seeing the world, you know? But also, a big thing going on right here, since the eye is located in the head area, in the brain area, what do we see? What are we seeing in this eye? You know, we're also seeing dark lesions in the brain area. So this area right here has to do with the brain. The top of the iris is the brain and the head. The lower part is the leg, the kidney, the adrenal gland, the pelvis, you know, all the lower organs. And then on the sides, we have the lungs, the thyroid, the chest wall, you know, things like that. So it correlates to how your body is built from head to toe. So these dark lesions, no good. We're seeing a lot of acidosis in the head, a lot of, you know, all these dark lesions indicate deterioration in the brain. So people like this have a hard time remembering things. They have the blurred vision. They can get graying of hair or balding, or they can have sinus issues, you know, sneezing going on. They can have ear problems, all these different things. So this, in this section, this is the sinus region, really bad sinuses, and then here is the brain region. And then this is circulation. See all this haziness going on and all this congestion? This person has poor circulation, so naturally they will have graying of hair. But you know, you can, if you can get rid of this through diet, through pulling of the lymph system, through cleaning up the bowels, with the herbal formulas to heal these lesions, you know, upper circulation, brain and nervous system, number 2, tincture formulas. Then once these things start to fade, you can start growing back your natural hair color again. I've seen it. I've seen people grow back their natural hair color. It start to form actually within a week or 2 weeks. With people with strong constitutions, that occurs when they get on the detox program. It's amazing. Now, speaking about this person's constitution, I can see that they have very nice fibers. The fibers are nice and straight. If you see a lot of wavy fibers in the eye, or if you see a lot of big lacunas or lesions around the eye, then that person has weak constitution. In this case, I would say this person is about in between strong to medium constitution. I would say maybe leaning a little more towards medium, since they have these deep lesions going on, and since the bowels seem to have expanded. You know, the bowels should be a little smaller, but they seem to have expanded. So I would say I would rate this eye about between medium and strong. Now, this means that if this person were to go on a detox protocol, they would do an amazing job. In stronger constitutional types, the body starts eliminating quickly, very fast. So this is amazing for this person. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was this big drug deposit right here. Now, this drug deposit is covering part of the transverse colon, the pineal gland. It's next to the pituitary gland. It's in the brain region, definitely. And this is an indication that this person is not moving and draining the lymph system from the head area. So they have a genetic weakness going on in the head area. When I say genetic weakness in any part of the body, if you ever get an iris report from me and I check off genetic weakness, what it means is that the lymph system in that area is having trouble draining. So if you have a genetic weakness, it's not a forever thing. It's something that you can fix, you know? Once you really dig deep into the body and start cleaning out the lymph and you start regenerating the tissues, then the DNA makeup starts to change. And this is very important because the end goal of detoxification is always regeneration, and I feel like it's very important for all of us, you know, that take on this detox route, that take on health as a path for us, you know, to heal our bodies, but also thinking about our children's future. If we plan to have kids, you know, I recommend everyone detox their bodies as best as they can before they have children, because your weaknesses, you don't want to pass on like your genetic weaknesses to your child if you can help it, because like I said before, children are developing diseases at an earlier age. So for instance, if let's say you develop a disease at the age of 30 or at the age of 40, then by the time you have kids, they can develop that same disease at the age of 10, and that's what we're seeing, and it's really sad stuff. I personally saw it within my own life. My mother, she's nearing her 50s now. She's like in her late 40s. She started seeing issues when she was in her early 40s, issues of fatigue, pain in the body, female reproductive issues, ovarian cysts, uterine pains, things of that nature, itchiness of the skin, all these different lymph issues and gland issues that she was seeing. But then I got it. I started seeing all those issues in my late teenage years and early 20s. So this is why it's extremely important to go on the detox and do it for as long as possible. The longer you can stay on the detox path, the better, the more time, because it's really a time game, and it's really how serious you take it. The more serious you can stay focused on your diet and consistent with taking the herbs that will heal your glands and organs and eliminate all the mucus congestion from your body, then that's when you start to see the magic happen, is after that good time. Take a few months to clean up your body. You can push it to a year, even 2 years. Not to say that you have to stay on this path forever. You can go back and forth with it, but I think that for maintenance, or for when it comes to healing or regeneration, you always want to go back to detoxification, since the fruit diet and the raw food diet is the natural diet of humans. You know, we're tropical species originally, and the lymph system unfortunately does not move on its own. It needs a lot of help. The lymph system is a fatty based system. It's just like cholesterol, like bile, like lipids. Those are fatty substances, very slow moving, very unlike the blood. The blood has the heart to pump it. It has that the neurotransmitters. It has that adrenal gland kick to help pump the blood. It has the oxygenation, the respiratory system. It has all that, but the lymph system does not have that help. All the lymph system has is, you know, tools at our disposal. What are these tools? What can you do to clean out the lymph system, to clean out all the cells of your body? You know, because the lymph system is the sewer system of the body. So the tools that we have at our disposal are the diet, that's number one, the fruits, astringent fruits, limes, lemons, grapes, citrus, all those good things. We have the diet, we have herbs that are astringent, that are intelligent in their nature, that are gland specific, that are organ specific, that have been used for thousands of years, time and time again, proven to be healing and beneficial to these organs, and even proven in before and after photos of, you know, being on this detox protocol and being on this path and seeing the changes in the eyes, seeing the changes in people's symptomology and the healing, complete healing of their diseases. So that's number two, is the herbs. Number three is detoxification tools, things like dry skin brushing, sauna, you know, enemas on occasion, douching with a heal-all tea is magical if you have any uterine issues, vaginal pain, uterus prolapsing, anything like that, cysts, tumors in that area, anything like that. That tea is amazing. And speaking of which, this person definitely needs to go that route too. They complained of you know, of prickly pains in the body. Now that's really important. Prickly pains, that is pointing to lymph congestion and nervous system weakness. When we see things like that, definitely in cases like fibromyalgia, lupus and Lyme's disease, MS, we see an adrenal nervous system weakness, and acidosis, major acidosis in these nerve tissues, which is creating a hyperactivity of the nerves. Anytime you have that hyperactivity of the nervous system where you can't stay calm, you can't just relax, you know, that part of the nervous system cannot just fully relax. This is when we see constipation issues, and this is when we see the fibromyalgias happening, because you have these people that are suffering, getting these random pains all over their body, their hands, their feet, their you know, reproductive organs, their stomach, their chest is tight, they feel pressure on their chest, all these things. And then this is what we're seeing in this iris. Look at that. These nerve rings are going over every single organ in the body, affecting everything. So yeah, you see right here, you can clearly see that the nerve rings are going around every part of the eye. So it's affecting every organ neurologically speaking, affecting the lungs, affecting the thyroid, affecting the kidneys, the bladder, the adrenal glands, affecting the brain, affecting everything, the pelvis, the vaginal wall. So you have this acidity firing off, creating this pain in the body. Now these people, they think like, oh my God, you know, why me? They tend to feel like a voodoo doll even, feeling like someone is actually stabbing at their body, or the body is attacking itself. But in reality, it's all just lymph congestion. All you have to do is clean up all the channels of elimination with the diet, with the specific herbs that one needs, and you can heal everything. Now, one of the last things I want to point out is this these specific lesions in the brain area. So this one right here is the pineal gland. You will see a lesion or a congestion in this particular area in the left eye if you suffer from insomnia or if you have a hard time falling asleep. This is when I would recommend a pineal gland formula to help heal this lesion. And in effect, it'll heal your glands and heal that issue that you have going on. Getting to sleep, getting enough hours of sleep is very important in the healing process. Rest is encouraged, you know, in order to get rid of things like obesity or you know, being overweight. You don't want to spend your time going to the gym. Your adrenal glands are already burnt out. It cannot handle things like that. You want to focus on losing weight through diet, because all fat is just holding on to toxins. Fat is another buffer, just like the cholesterol is right here, just like the calcium is, just like tumors are, you know, edema, that's another way of holding onto acidosis. But if you get rid of the acids and your body is alkaline and clean, then there is no need for any of that stuff at all. There's no need. So yeah, that's how I would address that. And you know, rest. You want to replenish your glands during this time. You don't want to excessively go to the gym. Some stretching is recommended, but not excessive amounts of physical activity. So it's actually the opposite of what we've been taught. It's really sad how society has taught us a lot of like, I like to call them half-truths, you know. Yeah, I you know, that's why I'm so passionate about everything that I do and helping people through reading the eyes. This is why I learned this science, is so that people can actually find their remedy again, because you know, this is how I healed myself. And after being told time and time again that I could not heal, that fibromyalgia was incurable, you know, I found my healing this way. And it's so sad because the medical system will forever deny it, because the reality is that there's no money to be made in someone curing themselves, you know. This client of mine, for example, they have a long list of medications that they've been taking for many years. Medications are a lot of money, and you know, the medical system's really counting on this person not to change their diet, to actually continue with medications, to continue suppressing the lymph system, continue suppressing the glands, and then later on, what does this person develop? A cancer, you know, something very horrible, or multiple sclerosis where they're stuck in a wheelchair for life, you know, things like that. Then that's when the medical system sees the big bucks start rolling in, because surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, all those things, they cost thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the cancer system is, the cancer industry is a huge industry. And you know, sadly, all these you know, like Run for Cancer, you know, all this like For the Cure, fundraisers, all these things, the money is not going to a cure, because the cure is already here. Humans have to just embrace the truth that the diet is number one. The diet affects your genes and how your genes will be expressed. The diet affects whether you're holding on to waste or getting rid of the waste. It affects whether you're building up acids in the body, destroying the glands, organs, and cells, or whether you're eliminating these acids and creating a cooling, healing environment in your body. So yeah, so I hope this video was you know, helpful to you guys. I really like talking to you guys about all of this, and I could continue talking more and more about iridology and about this person's case, but like as you guys can see, it is a lot. It is a lot of things that can be covered, especially in this iris, since we do see many weaknesses. We see a bit of a malabsorption ring going on right here, indicating that this person definitely has to clean up their colon, their stomach region. They're not absorbing all their nutrients, and yeah, all that good stuff. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more like them, definitely leave a comment down below, and I'll see like how popular it is, and I'll continue to make more iris videos. I really like making iris videos. It's like one of my biggest passions in life is reading the eyes. I find it so fascinating. And if you're interested in healing up your issues or working with me, definitely visit my website, www.spirtropicalhealing.com. I'll also have the link down in the description below. And yeah, I really can't wait to work with you. I really can't wait for you to heal up your diseases and heal up your life. And you know, it's so beautiful because I have people telling me every day how they've been watching my videos and following the diet, and they're already feeling better. And and some of them have even, like, you know, studied this information completely, and they've healed themselves. It's really amazing. So but you know, I know some people don't have like the time to study everything, because like you really, like, in order to heal your body, you either have to work with someone that's very knowledgeable, or you have to dive deep into the information and study all of this, which took me many years. It takes a lot of years to study the body as a whole, detoxification, actually getting that experience too, which takes, you know, years of healing and working on yourself, definitely. But yeah, I'm just so happy to hear that people are actually healing themselves and finding a cure this way. So definitely, like, if you've seen any benefits to detoxification, whether it was through my videos or through like learning about it in general, then leave a comment down below so we can show everyone the power of detoxification. The world definitely needs to know about this. So thank you guys very much. I love you all so very much, and talk to you later. Okay, bye.